number one. I guess some of the other people say, how do you get in? How do you get in? I don't know how she does it. I think she lives in a holy, holy way. Let us live in a holy, holy way. Let us love. Let us learn from all the ways we fall. Oh, let us know that love will heal us all. Let us know that love will heal us all. Oh, let us walk each day a little wiser. Let us walk each day a little wiser. Oh, let us love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Oh, let me live in a holy, holy way. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Soul Fulfilling. My name is Rickie Byars. Rickie Arlita Byars. La, 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 la. I really like that Arlita part. I love myself so much. But I can love you so much. And you can love you so much. If you just start loving me and include me in the wonderful things that you're building in the world. Hey! Let's work together. Let's see it together. So that we can be it together. And we can bring it together, baby. Hey. Oh, let me love in a holy, holy way. Let me love in a holy, holy way. Come on into the room. Hi, Sarita. Hey, Susan Ray. Hey, Susan. Hey, Lisa Michelle. Good evening. Yeah. Yes. Face of God is all I am. And face of God is all I see. Face of God is all I am. And face of God is all I see. Oh yeah, the bee hoodies are coming on into the room. Hey D, Deirdre, sermons, Maxine's in the house. Hi Keith. Oh, turn within, and now I can begin to see the face of God. Turn within, and now I can begin to see the face of God. Face of God is all I am, babe. Face of God is all I see. Face of God is all I am, babe. Face of God is all I see. From within, I let my heart begin to see eternity. From within, I let my heart begin to see eternity. And when I turn within, I can begin to see the face of God. You hear a lot about that word, God. I heard somebody say, God don't care what you call it. But God is listening to your intention, the your devotion and your call. Oh, some people have good words. Good for them. What you got? What you got? Yeah, that lets you know that God is right there with you. You got that breath. That breath. Turn within, and now I can begin to see the face of God. Because the face of God is all I am, and the face of God is all I see. Face of God is all I am, and face of God is all I see. It's ever present all around me. It's within me. It's within. Ever present all around me. It's within me, and it's within you. Eternity. Ashe, ashe. My life is a good life. Songs are just rolling off my tongue tonight. I just got the spirit in me. I really do. Spirit is strong in me. I think spirit always been strong in me. I just didn't realize it. It was so present in me. And it's present in you too. It's present in everybody on this call. We got Acela. Hey, Acela. Welcome. Well, come on in. There's Joanne. I was talking to Joanne and I was like, wait a minute. I got to get off this phone. I got a program coming up tonight. And yeah, so we were talking some deep stuff. We were having a fantastic conversation because our conversations are what it's all about. The conversations are defining our life, what we're talking about, what we're listening to, and what we're listening for, and how we're able to move from that place into action, into some way of being that encourages the good and that represents it. I want to say thank you to Lisa Michelle for my Be Happy glass. Be happy. Yes, I love it. And I'm drinking coconut water. I don't drink martinis anymore. No, I never drink martinis. If I had a laugh box, it would be that. Oh man, this lighting is really strong. So tonight we have a great program lined up. And Sue, I want you to come in first because you got this incredible white blouse.
Oh,
White blouse is banging, Sue.
I'm kind of neon here tonight. It's
Yeah. You got it going on.
Ooh-wee.
Well, there's nothing like a new white shirt, you know.
Well, there you are.
You know, or it might not be new, but it looks like it's new to us. But don't we feel? Well, I don't want to say don't we feel at this time in your life? Are you? And maybe it's springtime. I don't know if we're getting close to summer. I think maybe that revival had a lot to do with waking up a lot inside of us and perking us up, you know, getting us ready for this new season that Georgia talks about. You know, and she was so cute when she was like, it's a new season. And
Yes.
you know, and it feels like it feels like it, you know, it is, you know, and of course when you're in eternity, you're always beginning again. So it's always new. It's always new. And I'm feeling it. Are you feeling it, Sue?
Absolutely. I think it was probably about 2 months ago. I just felt really, really slow, like I had to slow down. And I don't like to slow down. So this was difficult for me. And it lasted about a month, but I could feel almost what was coming behind it. And it was a renewal, a rejuvenation of sorts. And
Mm-hmm.
it is. And I see it not only for myself, but for a lot of people.
Yes.
Things are, I don't know if we were in a holding pattern, maybe so we could slow down, but now it's everything's starting to roll. It's falling, I don't want to say falling into place because that would be more of where we thought it would go. It's
Mm-hmm.
going where it needs to go. And
Okay.
everybody's in movement. Yeah, I
Yes.
love it. It's good.
Yes. And we have two wonderful guests with us tonight.
Mm.
The community mystics who are coming on to join us. And right now we have brother Yahveen Israel. Yahveen. But ain't it Ben Israel?
Yes, yes, yes.
But I can leave the Ben out.
You can leave the bin out. Yes.
Okay. And and then I have brother Mikhael, who's coming on, Mikhael Yosef. But I like his Ben because his Ben sounds like Ben Yosef. You
Mhm.
know. How you doing, brother Mikhael?
Excellent, excellent. Shalom alaikum.
Shalom alaikum. All right. Shalaikum. I mean, wait. Walaikum salam. And I don't do so good. So,
Well, this aleichem shalom, aleichem
alaikum.
shalom. So Hebrew is shalom aleichem, and Arabic is assalamu alaikum.
Uh-huh.
So you just return the calling. So shalom aleichem, you say aleichem shalom,
Alaikum salam.
shalom, shalom,
Shalom. Alaikum
shalom.
shalom. Shalom means
Peace.
peace.
That's peace.
Alaikum
Yes.
shalom.
Yes.
Okay. And
Peace
I
be
like,
unto you.
yeah. Well, let's return to peace.
Yes, absolutely.
With every breath, return to peace. And then
Somebody
we have,
mentioned that at the last B hood that I think it was Lorraine. She said that the disciples asked Jesus to leave them something. He said, "I leave with you my peace."
yeah. Well, the peace. Hey, a lot of times we hear people saying Om Shanti, and we hear the word peace used a lot. We hear it in the world. Let there be peace. Let there be peace. But peace is an inside job. Peace is an inside job. So we have brother Yahveen with us tonight, and coming all the way from Georgia, and where the swampy, humid Jaja.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and we welcoming you into the Soul Fulfilling Songs and Conversations. And Sue just pulled herself out, but we'll talk to you later, Sue. Sue, we want to thank Sue, who's our producer and who sets things up. Now, before we get started, I want to recognize something that came in the mail today. And it's a card that was made for me. For me. And it was from Miss Nancy Cook. And Nancy Cook is Gwen Fontaine's mother.
Oh.
And so and in the card she wrote the sweetest note. It's the sweetest note, and that she put here, and she says, "I'm thinking of you for a long, and then she got a long L, long time, but have not acted on it. So here is your special card. Your program your programs are certainly wonderful. I am so glad my dear Quinn is so involved with you. It has done him so much good. Wonderful feelings, love and hugs, Nancy." So I just wanted to say thank you, Miss Nancy, for this beautiful card that she made. And she was actually with us as a guest once. She was on with her son, Quinn Fontaine. And those of you who were there at the revival, remember Quinn and the beautiful work and the beautiful presence where that's his mother. And yeah. So it's a new season, my brothers. Boom, 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 boom.
Yes, it is.
We're back for round 2, and we were talking about surrender last week. Remember?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes.
And surrender. What I said about us is that apparently our conversations got better once the show ended, and so we want to discuss our thoughts about what it means to truly surrender. What surrender means, and the gifts that come. We hear about surrender so much, but a lot of times it feels like it's a hard thing to do. This is the time, because a lot is going on in my head right now, but it's all perking at the same place. So it's not like I'm disjointed. It's just that it's all coming together to be something. And like a lot of times life is like that, where you got all these little elements and you don't really know what they're going to be. But if you can be fully present in the moment, it will show what it shall be, especially as we lean into God or the Creator or what we consider our Most High to be. You know, it's something special happens in our life that we couldn't plan. And God brings people into our life to help us do the things that we dream. And that's YouTube, brothers. That's why I got you on for round 2, because the way you entered my life and still enter my life is that you help make the dream come true. You know, people use the word vision. They use the word plan, you know, but I like dream. I like dream, not in the dream like I had a dream, but the thing that has not manifested yet, but that's coming, you know. So, yeah. So first, before we already started. So let's talk about surrender and what it implies and what it requires. Who wants to go first?
Yahveen, you can go first this time.
Okay. Well, what comes to my mind, I find 2 other relative words to surrender: the word submission and also the word sacrifice, but self-sacrifice. And surrender to me has everything to do with letting go of what is seeking to dominate our thoughts, our feelings, our actions, our words, and letting go of that, because a lot of that has been due to the program of what we've lived and what we've been taught. Mm-hmm. And there's something much more authentic that is already emerging out of our functionality, which is just our being. You know, there's parts of our nature that is absolutely doing the right thing at all times. Mm-hmm. And when we align, when we let go of ourselves and what we think, that other part of ourself tends to take over. And when we surrender, that's what we are surrendering to. We are surrendering to that which is automatic, mm-hmm. that which is involuntary. Mm-hmm. And that's all aligned with our natural functionalities.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. Thank you. Well, when he talked about, well, you said a lot, because when you talked about that self-sacrifice, but you talking about that little self that wants what it wants.
Yes,
you know,
that ego, egoic self.
Yeah, and sometimes it's sweet, but it's egoic. You know, yes. Sometimes it's like soft-spoken, but it's egoic. You know, mm-hmm. And it's not how you are in it; it's that it's there, and it's got, and you will hold on to things that are not holding on to you.
Yes,
you know, and I don't mean just people. You know, I don't. Sometimes you know, but it is people, because it's, you know, at the end of the day, it's people on a job. What I meant was not just a personal relationship or you with somebody else or a significant other. The others are significant, but they're significant in the ways of a job. Sometimes it's like family members or friends, you know, or circumstances that have made themselves more important than God. That, you know, and that you allow to have your time and your space in here. You're giving them way more time than you're giving God.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it's dominating, and the God in us needs dominion on that level. Mm-hmm. It reminds me of the scripture. There's somewhere in the New Testament where they spoke of the Spirit was like a voice crying in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
And the wilderness is a lot of noise, a lot of activity, a lot of voices going on.
Mm-hmm.
But the voice in the wilderness is like this remote voice.
Mm-hmm.
And that voice may be where the Spirit is. It's where the peace is, where the love is, where the functionality of everything in life is.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, when we submit to it, it will become the loudest voice of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
Not the quietest, the loudest.
Mm-hmm. Mm. The loudest.
Yes.
Yeah. In my life, it became a song. It becomes a song, you know.
Yeah,
and
it has.
Yeah, and it is. I guess the word loud is just kind of like some of the words that you choose are very practical, you know. But they're laced in poetry, you know.
Okay.
But so when you say loud, it's like it's the dominant sound. It's the dominant.
The most heard. It's the most heard.
The most heard.
Yes.
Yeah, and the most listened to. That's
Yes.
what we're saying. Most listened to.
It's the most preferred. It's the most preferred. It's what you prefer, you know. As opposed,
come on with it, bruh.
Yeah, as opposed to the other stuff that was dominating, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
Find out that stuff is temporal. That is not going to get me where I got to go.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's not going to rise me into higher consciousness
Mm-hmm.
or put me in a better state. So I started listening to that voice that's in the wilderness, or that still small voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same voice, still small voice in the Old Testament. When I started listening to that voice, I started becoming my true self.
Mm-hmm.
I started rising in consciousness and rising into what is the Most High, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rising to what is the Most High.
Yeah.
So
when you go on, what do you say?
It's a process, and it's a process.
It takes devotion.
Yes, you glitching, Nana Rickie. You glitching.
I am. I'm glitching.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa. Why is that? Because I'm not hooked up to the internet.
Oh.
Am I moving still? Am I unglitched?
You're still glitching a little bit.
What about you, Sue? Am I glitching with you? Well,
you're a little blurry and you stopped, but you're okay right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably there's another something that I'm supposed to have that's not hooked up here. So we're just going to bless Jermone because that's important. But it's my internet grounding. But that's okay. We got the we got the i-fi, you know. I-fi. We got i-fi. We got the I and i-fi. That's Saul Williams had a movie in it, and you know they were running on the i-fi, and I was like, "Ooh, yes, i-fi." You know, but what I want to talk about, what I want to go into, that was a beautiful thing that Laura said. Laura Robb, she says, you find talking about peace not by rearranging the circumstances of your life, but by realizing who you are at the deepest level. Correct. She's right. You know, and but even even with words like that, you know, we have to start somewhere. You know, we have to start with a plan. You know, and then you realize along the way that, you know, then there's a greater plan than the one that you had. You know, and since God's will is just beyond our plans, you know, God's will is just beyond our plans, you know, and but a plan is good, you know, a stand is good, you know, but a helping hand is really real. You know, a helping hand is really real because I find with helping others and showing up in service to the village, that a plan comes that is the real plan that I hadn't considered. And so I want to talk about your work, Brother Mikhael, with what you're doing with the property management and where you see housing going for everyone. I got this burning desire and to work with others to end the homeless situation on the street. I hear numbers that there are 48,000 numbers, and we talked about it last week, and but I don't think you pick up 48,000 people and put them on land and expect a miracle. I think you take 10 people, you take 15 people, you take 20 people, you take 30 people, you take 5 people, you take 2 people, you take 1 person, but it happens as it becomes a way of life, as caring for others, as ourselves, that becomes a way of life. Was there some point in your life where your caring for others was the definitive change on your path?
Absolutely. When the day that I surrendered, everything shifted, again, from the me, myself, and I, the little me, myself, and I, the little self, me, my little self, and I, to the bigger me and the bigger self and the bigger I, the am that I am, the I of all eyes, the eyes that see all, And once I surrendered to that, it shifted me from a selfish type of person to a selfless type of person. Instead of being self-centered, I became God and other-centered. Because once that happened, I didn't have to worry anymore about what I needed to get for the little self anymore. It wasn't about the little self anymore. It was about the whole. It was about the plans of the Creator, and the whole thing about it. We were speaking about what finding whatever the plan is. There's only one plan. There's only one plan. I just got to find where I rise into the plan, not fall into it. I'm gonna rise into the plan. So when I surrender, that like you said, you asked me about this property management. This thing, I rose into it. It wasn't something I planned at all. I was trying to become a DPS eligibility worker, DPSS, working for the county of Los Angeles. That's what I was pursuing at the time, and I didn't get it because of my rap sheet. Right? They found some of my rap sheet that didn't agree with that position, and I was devastated. I was devastated. I'm like, wow! I blew the test. I passed the test and everything, and that little one thing stopped me from getting that position. And being in that devastated position, I still had to go to the one that pulled me up out of the murky mire, and it guided me straight to a position where I was receptive to whatever thy will is. Thy will be done, not mine. And one of the brothers from the neighborhood came and said, "Hey, Mike, there's a position down here, man. I know you can do it. In the downtown Skid Row, man, property manager." And I went down there. As a matter of fact, Yahveen and I went down there and applied. And both of us started at the same time in different buildings. Yeah. And I stayed in Yahveen, he's being who he is, he rose to other goals and other avenues for the Most High, and he ended up, going somewhere else. But I stayed, and I started relating to people that was in a position where I was in. So it was like, okay, I know what that feel like to be homeless. I know what that feel like to be, on drugs and alcohol. I know what that feel like to be hopeless and powerless. I know what that feel like. So I can really, really work with these people, and work with my brothers and sisters that need my help.
Yes.
So there's a story, Nana, that says that a man fell into a ditch and he couldn't get out. And this preacher came by and looked at him, and he asked for help, and he couldn't help him. He probably threw some food down there, but he kept going. And then this lawyer came by, he probably gave him some books and kept going. But this guy that came by, this Samaritan, the Good Samaritan, came by and jumped in the hole with him. He said, man, what you do that for? Why you jumping? I want you to throw me a rope. He said, I know, I've been here before. I know the way out. Just follow me. Yep. And so that's why I felt when I got that position downtown Skid Row. I was not planning this. It's what happens when you surrender. When you surrender, you end up in a place that you did not know was going to happen.
Wow.
I rose in that position where I am right now, where it's a very much demanding position. It's a very much demanding position. I can go almost anywhere and get hired because of what I.
You said something. Yeah, when he says, I know the way out. You know.
Yeah.
He jumped in
there. He said, I know the way out.
I know the way out. I know the way out. There's a song by a brilliant trumpeter named Keon. Keon, what's your last name? I think it's Holland, but it's like the song is beautiful. It says, while we are traveling and getting close. Say we are traveling, we're getting close. Just trust me now. I know this road. And this is, I say, while we're traveling and getting close, just trust me now. I know this road. And you've been lost for so long. And I know a better way. Just let me navigate into your soul. While we're traveling and getting close, just trust me now. I know this road. And you've been lost for so long. I know a better way. I know a better way. Just let me navigate into your soul. I wish I could find, I mean, if I found it on my phone, I don't know how I could play it. But this song is called the Wayfaring, I believe it's called the Wayfaring Traveler by Keon. He's a trumpet player. But the singers, Georgia sings on it, and Jermaine, I forget Jermaine's last name. But when I found this song, I played it over and over and over and over again, because it speaks to us being able to trust the people around us also, that to trust that God would surround us with people who could support us in where we're going, that everybody around us is the presence of God. Like you said, Brother Mikhael, that there is one plan, really, and that is the plan of God. It's like, how do I fit in it? You know, how can I serve? That's the real plan. You know, speak in ways that I may understand, walking with the scripture and the holy scriptures, some kind of scripture, something beyond just your journal notes, you know, that can inform you on a very deep and wonderful level. Hi, No Kwadi. It's my grandson. I love him. Yeah. So what about you, Brother Yahveen? Like at the turning point, was there a point where you felt like throwing the baby out with the bathwater and the belief systems and all the stuff that was percolating in your head and in your life, and that you had to make peace with everything and make another choice?
Yes, I believe for me, it was possibly as early as 1985. And the baby at the time, I believe, probably was myself, because I didn't have any children at the time. And the situations in my life seemed to all had led me to a pretty dark space, a place of hopelessness. And that's when the surrender was done, and letting go of everything I feared at the time and started facing it. And instead of walking in fear, began walking by faith. And it is a mysterious walk. It's a walk that like Mikhael said, that you really don't know what's going to show up or how things are going to eventually transpire for you, but you have faith to know that all is well as you're going through it. And it led me from I was working with food at a county institution, which was a juvenile hall, at the beginning of this transition. And by the time I came through the transition, I was doing my own raw food vegan business. And I had actually learned everything that goes along with that new way of eating, that new way of living, that new way of interacting with nature. Everybody's gone. You're in the show.
You're here. We're here with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Main person right now.
But you were the star right now. So go keep talking.
Okay. I was like, okay, everyone's gone. Okay.
We're here.
Okay. Yeah. So by the time the surrender took place and it took me into these like mysterious places, I came out of it in a beautiful setting of being surrounded with consciousness of natural foods, raw, vegan, natural foods. And I got a chance to really delve deep in it personally, as well as in business. I actually studied at the time with Dr. Aris Latham, and we had done a business together called Sunfired Foods. That was back in the 80s. And that really seemed to really show me how once you surrender to your old way, a whole new paradigm was born. And it was some things that I hadn't ever really thought of prior to that surrender. It just took my life over, and it's been one thing after another.
Wow. That's amazing. Now I got to know how to do that. Oh, there we go. That's amazing. And I remember when you were doing some of your food business, and you'd make those barbecue sandwiches.
Okay. Yes.
And bring them to Agape. It was so good.
Yes.
That was the old days. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was really good before I stopped eating tomatoes.
Okay.
Before I stopped eating tomatoes. Here comes Laura again. Laura is blazing. Thank you, Sue. God has a higher plan in mind. That's right. God is the highest good, gracious and only good.
Yes.
And although it may not align with our plans, just trust and believe there's a magnificent journey ahead. Definitely. There's a song that called Speak to My Heart, and there's a place in it in a lot of my songs that show the way. But this particular song says, in the middle of it, goes like, God is the highest, good, gracious, and only good. God's blessing sings through the earth, through the skies. God, the universe is always good, gracious, and only good. God's blessing sings through the earth, through my soul. That the universe is good. Sing through my heart, oh God, my speak through my voice. Love through my presence. Care through my heart. Share. How can I serve today? Sweet Spirit. Here we abide. As you show us all that we must do. Sing through my heart.
Ashe.
Yeah. God reveals in such, I believe it's a way in a way that's your way, that it's in your way. You know, it's like sometimes when you read the works of other people and you have their words, a lot of times, even with scripture, sometimes we identify with the way that it happened through somebody else. And sometimes our misunderstanding blocks us. It's not that the scripture's off. It's just that we are not quite understanding the full implications of it, but we can pray. We can pray for guidance and we will receive it. We can ask of God what it is that we need to know. And I think that when we get too intellectual about things, you know, and something that I never lost was I just believe God is good. You know, I really do. You know, I believe the Most High is Most High. I believe the universe is extraordinary and intelligent. I believe the Creator is even greater than the universe it made. And I believe that it functions inside of each of us according to our willingness and our availability, because it's always here. It's revealing in everything. You know, yesterday I was outside and Georgia, she saw something that I just couldn't see. I couldn't see it. She could see it. Mm-hmm. You know, she could see it. But you know what? I had joy in what she could see. And today I saw it. I couldn't see it, but I had belief in, I had faith in what she saw. And I didn't think she was crazy, you know, because she was talking about the hummingbirds and says, oh, they blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and I'm looking, I don't see it. Like remember when we were at Lake Junaluska and everybody saw the eagle? Mm-hmm. The eagle, the bald eagle's nest. I don't know if were you guys out there that day?
We weren't out there. I wasn't out there that day. I would remember that one.
It was a moment. It was a moment where it was one. It was in one of the early morning, the morning walk, the early morning prayers at the lake.
Yeah,
that's
Saturday.
Yeah, this particular time was Sunday morning, and I was looking at the tree down there by where the cross was, you know, by the amphitheater, and everybody's like they're seeing it. They're going like, wow, and everybody sees it, right? And I don't see it, you know. And I was like, I know it's there. I just can't see it. Hmm. But there's power in knowing and believing that it's there and that it's working on your behalf, even though you don't, with what you have, the vision you have, you might think there is no visible evidence that it is working. And then when you begin to see, you see it everywhere. You know, you see God in everything. You know, there was a moment, because we talk about surrender. The moment, you know, it's like my surrender was like, I had to trust God. Like I wanted to go to church. And I was in a situation where I couldn't say that I wanted to go to church to the person that was my partner, my husband at the time. And and I wanted to go so bad because I was feeling the power of God, in a way that I had never felt it. And I wanted to be there. I wanted to be there. And but I knew if I brought it up, it could be a dangerous situation because the person would get so angry when we would talk about spiritual things, and sometimes you can be with a partner who is not necessarily wanting to participate in your spiritual journey, but they're kind. They're kind. They might not even want to do vegan eating, but they're kind. But if you're with somebody that's really not kind, in the ways of the places and the ways that you want to be in your life, and actually actually controlling your life, it's a dangerous situation.
Yes.
But my need for God was greater than outweighed my fear. I was like, well, if I die, I die. But today I got to stand for myself. I got to stand for myself. And whatever happens, happens. But I'm resting in you, God, and give me the strength to stand for myself. And because I was crying in the bathroom, and a lot of women on the thread know the crying in the bathroom scenario. When you're not speaking, there's something that's blocking you from saying the truth, and it's usually some kind of fear that you're afraid of something, of losing something, and sometimes it's losing your teeth, And so I was like in the bathroom, and I was like, I took a deep breath. And this is the submission that I want to testify about, because it was not submitting to a human being. It was the power and the presence of God, honoring that I was carried and leaning on that, leaning into that. Maybe the word ain't submission. Maybe that word really is surrender. I don't know. You got to help me with that one, Brother Yahveen. But I went and I said what I needed to say. And I was met with, oh, you want to go to church? And he said, you got to get the kids ready. I said, no, I'm not taking them. I'm going by myself. And it was like, well, okay. But he saw something in my eyes that was very, very strong. And that was the beginning of my life that me as Rickie. That was the beginning of my journey with God. No, that wasn't the beginning, because the beginning happened before then. But it was like, because the beginning is always happening. But that was my begin again. It's like, oh, wow. And I went, and I was unstoppable after that. It was like, oh, wow. And then once I was able to say, if this is worth dying for, I'm standing here like this, because what is life if we all can't enjoy it? We're not harmonizing no destiny if I'm crying in the bathroom, right. And I don't want my children to grow up with a parent that's coward. I want to be strong. And I went, and then it wouldn't be but a short period of time after that I would get a total revelation of the Spirit. I mean, a wash down, a clean up, a lift up, a otherworldly kind of illumination, that would totally put me in a whole nother zone. It wasn't about me doing anything. It was from that point on, it was like, follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. And surrender, that's the element of surrender that for me is sweet. That's that deep soul surrender. It's like, hey, God, it's me and you.
That sounds like that driver and that helmsman and that pilot I was talking about yesterday. I mean, on Sunday.
Talk about it.
The day that I surrendered, I told God, you know, January 8, 2003, I said, you the driver of my car, you the helmsman of my ship, you the pilot of my space shuttle. Wherever you take me, I'll go. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do. Yeah. You know, it's a total surrender. And speaking of that surrendering, Nana, it's you know, that at that point, I was at the point where I was totally devastated. I was at a point where Spirit had revealed to me that I had really just lost my mind. I had really just went totally opposite from what I was supposed to be going. And I didn't know it at the time when it was revealed to me. I thought I was okay. I thought I would just need to tweak this or tweak that. But no, I was way off course. And the Spirit let me know I was way off. Way off. You over here in the desert. I want you over here in the forest so we can build some stuff. You can't build nothing in no desert. Get over here, right? So when I saw how far off I was from the things that I need to live, from the water, from the food, you know, from the shelter, you know, I said, oh my God. And I at that point I surrendered everything because I knew I had put myself in that position. And so my point is, before I was able to surrender, I had to realize that I had became insane in my thinking.
Yeah.
That's where the blockage come in at. And a lot of us here, especially in our paradigm where we exist here, you know, it's a lot of trauma. It's a lot of trauma. It's a lot of mental illness. It's a lot of stuff that's blocking us from really surrendering to life, because life is good, all is well. Life is on our side. Life is always good. You know, the Creator only makes good and was that good and very good. That's how the Creator makes good and very good. And so life is good, all is well. Life is on our side at all times. But it's my thinking. It's my thinking that blocks me from being connected to it. Because as a scripture in Psalm says, the Creator was speaking to us, and the Creator said, I say that you are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High, but you will die like men, and you will fall like one of the princes, meaning that we're not, if we don't come to our God self, our true self, we will just perish. We just perish. We have to come to our true self, which is the little G's. We're the little G's, and God is the big G. We're the little G's. And then the Creator said, you are all my children. If I'm the big G and all y'all my children, y'all little G.
Right? And God is fully present, you know, everywhere, you know.
Yes. God is all in all, everything. That's why I love Star Wars theme, you know, about the Force. But the Force in Star Wars, they
definitely took it.
Yeah, they like it's in everything. And when they talk, when the Jedi Knights get to talking, I'm like, man, I'm fired up. I'm like, yeah, that's it. That power is in everything and touching it. It's a whole. Everything is connected.
Yeah, they took the scripture, they took the scriptures, and that's what they did. Yes. But what were you going to say, Brother Yahveen?
Yes, I just wanted to really. You know, commend you on your testimonial. That's my first time in all the years that I've been walking with you that I've heard your breakthrough story. And it really resonated with me because I can hear you having to step out in faith and to overcome the fear of not doing what someone else was requiring of you at that time. And to be willing to lose your life in the process of doing what's right is what I view true surrender as. You have to be willing to let it all go, even your own survival, if doing what's right is required of you.
Yeah, yes.
And I heard that so much in your story, and that reminds me of parts of my story that you really come into contact with that at some point. You're really going to have to be willing to lose your life for the sake of the Most High's life in you. Yeah.
Yeah. And it expresses in the world, so we're talking about ourselves, we're talking about our journey, but my journey had everything to do with meeting everybody on this thread. That journey had everything to do with meeting Brother Mikhael, brother Yahveen, everybody. Meeting Safi, meeting the people in the B Hood, meeting the people at the revival, meeting the people of the choir of Agape, meeting, just imagine not saying yes.
Yes.
To that kind of destiny and just settling for a small life.
Yes. I agree. Likewise with me. That's how I view you in my life and the ones that are in my life. You are like the congregation that was waiting for me to cross over in the spirit. It was like cross over, like, come on to the other side with us. You all were there waiting for me, at least in the spirit.
Yeah.
You can't meet the fellow surrenderers until you surrender.
I'm writing that down, bro.
Yes, you can't meet the fellow surrenderers until you surrender. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't meet the fellow surrenderers until you surrender.
You can't get in the club until you surrender.
You can't get into the club.
Yeah, that's why that's a prerequisite.
But then too, what you were speaking of a little earlier about the new season that we're in now, what I view the new season as being is the congregation, the fellow and the female surrenderers, as we have come together now, it's more about the collective.
Yes.
Not so much about the individual surrender now. It's
a collective.
Individually surrendered. Now we are collecting each other and moving as a unit more. And we are a force of nature together.
Yes.
Together we are a mighty force of nature.
Yeah.
That's what I experienced up in the lake, at the lake. We were a mighty force of nature moving as a unit.
Yeah. Yes. It was wonderful. And I got so inspired, and I want to encourage everybody to make space in your life to join us at the revival, because it was really good. And by the way, Acela, I saw the eagle. I saw the eagle right before I saw the eagle. I think it was John Stringer took a picture of what it looked like, but before he showed it to me, I saw the head. I just had no framework. Man, it was just so metaphorical. I mean, it was just everything. I was like, I'm looking at it, but I just can't see it. I know it's there, but I just can't see it. And then he told me how to see it. And then I was like, I see it. I see it. And I started dancing. Everybody's like, she sees it. I was like, I see it. Oh my God. And it was huge. And then once you see it, you go like, well, how did I not see that? People were like, well, this happened, this blah, 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 blah. How did you not see it? I wasn't looking for it. I was looking at something different. I was looking at God, man. I didn't see the stuff that other people saw. And I was like, but God helped me to see what I needed to see at the right time. And then it's like, boom, because I do trust God. And everybody on this thread does the same way. I just want us to know that this mighty work that we're doing together is, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. I'm telling you, I see people coming off the street. I see people having a place to live, and I see myself being a part of that. I see land, lots of land. I see tiny houses. I see community centers. I see all kinds. I see farms. I see people living in a natural way, and not in little boxes so long, or if they're in little boxes, they're happy in them and they're boxes, but because a box can be heaven if you infuse it with your love. I mean, we all are living in boxes. So, the boxes of houses or apartments, and we're not all going to be out on a farm or on the range, but some people will be. And I want to know what that feels like. I want to know what it feels like to bring people, to watch people have a place to stay.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
know, and to build and to be a part of transitional and not just transitional, but transformational housing.
Transformational. Yes.
Transformational housing.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know,
Transformational housing, transformational living,
living. Yes.
even with what Mikhael deals with in like recovery. It's just like people, I mean, a lot of people in general have been traumatized in this society,
Yes.
either through our families or relationships, like you were speaking of. And that trauma really devastates us and it leaves baggage with us. And
Yeah.
I really commend you for the work that I see is being done with the Hood with some of my family members, specifically Sophia. She's going through a transformation in her own personal life. And the Hood has given her a platform to basically express.
Mhm.
And she's doing it in a wonderful way. And she's allowing us all to participate in ushering the presence of God when we are all collectively joined with each other.
Yes.
So I just want you to even notice that some of the work that you're seeking to do on the street, some of it is coming to you as well. It's reaching you, it's finding you, getting on board with you.
Yes. I
And what we're
received
doing.
that.
Yes.
I received that. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Yahveen. Thank you. I want you guys to know that the name of that, again, the name of that song is Wayfarer Traveler. And the artist is Keyon, Keyon. Maybe I can type it here.
Please. Yes. Do that.
Maybe Sue can type it. It's KeyonHarrold. That's his name, Keyon Harold. The name of the song is Wayfaring Traveler, and it features Georgia is part of the Robert Glasper's on the track. I mean, it's brilliant. Chris Dave on drums. I mean, just a great band. Jermaine Holmes is the composer and lyrics. Georgia gets a composer's credit on it, and it's just beautiful. When you hear it, you're gonna know. You're gonna know. I mean, it sounds like one of those old spirituals, but yeah, it's. I want everybody to listen to it. It's really quite powerful. While we're traveling and getting close, just trust me now.
Yes.
I see that that's the spirit talking. You know, like I'm with you. You know, we're traveling and getting close. Just trust me now. I know this road. Like God would say, I am the road. And you know, and you've been lost for so long, or maybe you've been searching for so long. You know, I know there is a better way. There's a better way. Just let me navigate into your soul. Let me navigate.
I think the Hood is navigating, you know, especially starting from that revival, Nana Rickie, because I told you then, our spirit told me that this was just the beginning.
Yes.
That this revival was going to go worldwide. It's going to travel, not just at Lake Junaluska, but it's going to go further. It's going to go across the Atlantic, across the Pacific, down to the South America. You know, up in Canada, it's going to go.
Y'all want to go with me to South Africa? Because I'm going to South Africa.
Absolutely.
We're going to be a revival in South Africa, in Cape Town and in Johannesburg. So if anybody's interested in going, that's going to be in December, the last week in November and the first week in December. And I'm having the meeting about it tomorrow. And they go like, and are there any people that would like to go with you? I was like, I hadn't considered that, but I'm going to South Africa, and for a Pan-African New Thought symposium there, and they're bringing me there as the guest artist. So that will be phenomenal. And so Brother Mikhael, you keep speaking it. You keep talking, bruh. You know, because it's happening, and I'm thankful for it all.
The world is waiting for it. The world is waiting for it, Nana Rickie. The earth is waiting for us to step into our true selves, to heal even itself. It's waiting for us right now.
Well, that's what we're doing. And what I want to say is that that's not far off. That's what we're doing. And if we can be here present, fully, bringing our best, it delivers. My God delivers like that.
Your music is healing and delivers. Your songs, Nana Rickie, I'll be listening to your songs sometimes because at first I don't get the lyrics at first. But when I get the lyrics, it just like, boom, it hits me. It hits me. And then I play that song over and over and over and over again because it started ministering to me. So what you're doing, the Creator got you healing. Through your music.
Yeah, God's got me, and it was so close that I couldn't see it. It was so close that I couldn't see. I could feel it, but I couldn't see the possibilities that you speak about. And I'm thankful, I'm thankful. Next, I want you guys to go to YouTube. Here's something else I want you to check out. I want you to check out Wayfaring Traveler by Keon Harold. But I also want you to check out, his name is Harrold, by the way. There's 2 R's. Okay, I want you to, I don't know if this is on YouTube, but I believe it is. It's called A Handful of Leaves. A Handful of Leaves.
That's by Keon too?
No. This isn't a song. This is a short movie. This is a short documentary. Handful of Leaves, or it could be A Handful of Leaves. It might be. I don't know if it's but I think it's Handful of Leaves. By Vishnu Vasu, my friend Krishna, who's a filmmaker. And this film is about the life of A.T. Aryaratne. And I talk about Brother Aryaratne of Sri Lanka because he was a pioneer in human development. He was nominated for the Nobel Prize 3 times, and he never won, but it doesn't matter because his work, it stands on its own, man. It's like he is, and what he did for Sri Lanka in his lifetime, and the way he brought in thousands of people. I mean, within a 10-year span, 300,000 volunteers came to assist in helping to rebuild the villages there. And then, because so much is engineered to fail in this world, I'm not going to go deep into it. But if you're not looking, next thing you know, you got a civil war and everything goes up in flames. And then they rebuilding the villages again and praying and getting people not to fight each other. And he did it through meditation, through loving kindness. He was a real live Buddha person, that I knew. And Krishna, my buddy Krishna, did a film on Dr. Ari. And Dr. Ari, the way they built community is to be studied. The way he did it. And number one was that every individual deserved to have a clean and beautiful environment to live in. A clean and beautiful environment to live in. And everybody deserves that, and how we get there. And so he's got 10 steps, 10 ways to do it. And then but there's just so much. So just look at the film. It's just 17 minutes, but check it out, you guys. Handful of Leaves. And it is well, I'm just going to give you a Handful of Leaves. And if you can't find it, I'll have it next week. I'll have the link for you. Okay. Okay. So we've moved into the after party. But what I want to say is that I've enjoyed our conversation tonight because we are affirming the highest and the best in each other. We are connecting. We're connected in our journey.
Yes.
We're connected in it.
Through our surrendering.
Through our surrendering to what is most high.
Yes.
Yeah. God is good,
Absolutely.
God is good. Thank you, my brothers, for coming on. Are there any last words from Sue, Brother Mikhael, Brother Yahveen, before we close?
I would like to say one last thing that I want to bring a little more attention to. In your walk as well, Mama Rickie, even in your testimonial, how you spoke of the children, you didn't want them to be raised by a coward. Mm-hmm. So you stepped out in faith and went through your fear. I'm seeing that as the work that I find myself doing so much in life, what I call intergenerational spiritual work or connectivity, where one generation is connected to the one ahead of it and the one behind it. So what I see you doing with your generations is very inspiring to me. I see the fluidity of how that surrender has now taken over just not your life, but it's working with George's life and your grandson's life and your other grandchildren's life, to where what I said last week, there's a chance that our natural family can be a part of our spiritual family as well. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm experiencing with Sophia now. It's just like, she's not just my natural family, but she's seeking to be in the club where we can really do some things as a mighty force of nature on this earth.
Yes. Thank you.
And that wasn't an automatic. It just didn't happen. It took that surrender and working through that surrender for many years and bringing it back home. Yes. So thank you too.
Oh, yeah.
And most of the time we have to be put in a position that's very, very uncomfortable before we surrender. And most of the time the Creator allow us to do what we're going to do till we get that in that position, from a whole bunch of subtractions, as Yahveen put it, a whole bunch of subtractions. Now I don't have nothing. I'm at zero. Okay, now I'm ready.
What that looked like for me was at the Raj Festival on Monday morning, when everybody was gone and the stage was coming down, and my lips were jet black from being burnt from the sun. I was 10 pounds lighter from all the moisture that was zapped from my body and moving around the grounds. But there I was, and I knew it was a new season. I knew. I mean, it's hard to give that to anybody, but it's like the wind was not blowing anymore.
Yeah, the wind.
The initiation part 1 was done.
The wind wasn't blowing, and the noses weren't being broken.
Yeah. That was the cleansing. That was the cleansing, Nana Rickie.
It was the cleansing. You're absolutely right. It was, listen, when I called Michael Beckle, and I was like, you're not going to believe this. The winds are blowing at 80 miles per hour. This is what he said to me. He said, it's your initiation. And he was right.
Wow.
He was right. He was right about that part. Wow. I don't think he, but the real initiation was like, you're in another realm. You're in another whole season. I think he could already see it. I just didn't quite realize it, but I sure realized it on Monday morning when I woke up, and I looked and I was like, I'm different. And I lived. I lived, and I was left with a huge debt. I'd never seen a debt that big, but man, that was a little bit of money compared to the money that I see in the world, But at the time, I hadn't done anything of that stature, and this is the real reason I'm bringing this up right now is that I thought, and for 3 years I did festivals. Remember, I did the Raj Festival 3 years straight.
Yes.
2013, 2014, and 2015. Those were just the boilerplate for what we're talking about in terms of the transformational living.
Yes.
The transformational living, because what made the festival so fabulous was that we were there for 3 days. you know, that we were outdoors, that we were living close to nature. Like that's what was calling me, was that. But I thought it was a festival. So when somebody just called me a few days ago and invited me to be telling me about a festival up somewhere, I was like, I'm not trying to do festival. I'll do revival. That's different, you know. But no, I see us being on the land with the houses, with the things that we're doing, with the things that we're building, without true celebration.
Yes.
Yes. And so that was the beginning, and you guys were part of that too.
Rickie, you know, we've mentioned several times about this transitional housing and whatnot, and transformation. I see revealing. I think when you take people and bring them together and teach them something that they don't know, it just explodes. Like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. And then it starts and it goes. And you know what? What it's been coming to me, keep showing up. Keep showing up.
Keep
you don't
showing
have to do
up.
anything, just show up.
Show up.
Sorry, got a little loud there.
Well, you got a little loud, but that's good though. Loud is good. You know, show up, keep reading, keep expanding, keep, you know, because everything is revealing what you need to know. You know, something that gives you something special. You know, and you can read all kinds of books. You know, I mean, just keep reading and just keep showing up and keep saying yes to God.
Keep growing.
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, there's a new book. You know, you guys know how much I love Percival Everett. He's got a new novel called James. And James is written from Jim's point of view with Huckleberry Finn.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh yeah, and it's deep because at the end of American Fiction, did anybody see American Fiction?
Yeah.
Yes.
Humorous.
Remember
So humorous.
Remember the last scene, the very last scene, where he's getting in the car to leave the line.
Yes, and he saw the guy that was in there with the straw hat on.
Right.
Yes.
And he does like something like this. He gives him some kind of sign. It's something like this. But that was the Easter egg basket moment. Like Georgia was like, she was like, that's the egg they're planting. You know, that was like James.
Yeah.
He was dressed like James.
Yeah.
I was like, I know that. I hope they do that movie. Oh my God, it's gonna be good. But James is really good because it gives you a way to see the horror of slavery, the horrors of slavery. But the way he gives the story is very extraordinary, and it was just, it spoke so much. So I'm not going to tell you the end of the book. Just go ahead on, get James. Y'all, I'm giving y'all homework around here.
I know it, huh?
Yeah, let me handful of leaves. Y'all got a handful of leaves. You got James. You know, you got all kinds of stuff. You come into the Soul Fulfilling, you're gonna get all kinds of stuff. But James, by Percival Everett, who is a brilliant writer, and he's a distinguished professor of English at Percival Everett. His wife writes too. I got to read her books, but I am really interested in, because he's the one I met first. James is the latest book by Percival Everett. So you got James, you got Handful of Leaves, and you got Keon. All right. I didn't even tell you about Georgia's stuff, you know, or Rob McDonald's. Well, you know, in a bubbling universe of creativity, we get to keep exploring. We get to go deeper. We get to see the face of God revealed. That word that Sue said, revealed, all around us. I'm thankful.
Transformative housing. You just said it. That's
transformation.
Wow. Transformational.
Yeah, transformational. And you know what Kaumba stands for?
Creativity.
Creativity. It's like Kaumba in motion, expressing transformation. Ha ha! That's what we're doing. So I love
told
you,
you, Nana Rickie. I told you part 3, 4, 5, 100, 200. I already told you. I said that last and the after part. I told you what's going to happen.
Well, tonight we're going to say good night. They may all be blessed and may all find the way to love more. To love more. Ashe. Love you. Let our joy be so triumphant that we rest in God and say,